This meeting is being recorded.
Good morning, this is Steve Hoffacker. Welcome to another one in our series of professional development programs. This is a program that we do periodically to educate aging in place professionals and others in some of the market concepts, products and techniques and different ways that we can interact with our marketplace. This morning we have Scott Blakely from Ohio. His company, LiveWell, manufactures a set of products called Grabcessories and others. He's going to discuss those with you today. You may have heard some of those referenced in the CAPS 2 class especially, but Scott wants to impart to you some of what he can offer and contrast his product with some others in the marketplace. So you're in for a good morning. The next hour or so is his. With that, Scott, take it away.
Thanks, Steve. And I should say I really appreciate what you're doing for, I'll just say society in general by doing what you do, and all the folks on this call, doing what you do to make aging in place or the aging process more beautiful, easy, safe for everyone. So
we're all in this together. So thank you. Yes, thanks to everyone.
With that, my name is Scott Blakely. I'm the president and CEO of LiveWell Home Safety Solutions. We've been doing this since 2012. And I got in the business. I don't know if you've been to my website, livewellhs.com, or you can get there by grabcessories.com. And you'll probably see that I started my business. If you go to our videos tab, you'll see my story. My mom broke her hip twice. And that motivated me when I was working for Moe. And I used to run the Moe and home care business. So I know intimately all the Moe and They haven't changed their designs since about 2004. So I intimately know the competitors, but my mom was unhappy with the products that I had when I was working there at the time. And then when I left the company, I saw so many opportunities to create a better solution for folks that was more decorative, more beautiful, optimally functional. And so I sought out on my own, and here I am today. So as I go through today, I said this earlier when less of you were on, but I'll say it again. I'm going to talk about different products, and I'm going to talk about design in general. But I am going to point to some specific things about different vendors' products. This is not a slam against vendors' products. I'm going to point out good things about vendors' products. I'm going to point out bad things about vendors' products. And I'm going to tell you why and back it up with not anecdotal information, very, very solid, undisputable facts. And a simple one is suction cup grab bars are terrible, right? Everybody knows that you could grab that at one time when suction cup fails and boom, you're done. So I never recommend those. But Grabcessories is our brand of grab bars. We have beautiful, decorative, optimally functional grab bars, and we also have the standard grab bars that you put in a gas station or where a public restroom or whatever. It's my contention that people use grab bars less when they're ugly. And people don't want to buy grab bars when they know they're just a grab bar and they can't be a beautiful accent in their bathroom. Baby boomers are very discriminating. So we're going to talk about that as we go through. Okay, my presentation is now not moving. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to start with talking about design. If Mr. Wonderful was looking at our grab bars and I was in front of him on Shark Tank, and he saw this bathroom, he would say someone should go to jail for murdering bathroom decor, right? It's horrible. They're not well placed, but forget that for a second. It's just ugly. And if you look down at the clutter down here, you got a grab bar and then you got a toilet paper holder. Can we do something a little bit more aesthetic and a little bit less clutter? And that wouldn't cost as much money or the same to put it in one product? Well, we're going to show you how we do that in a little bit. And if Mr. Wonderful saw this, he would say, stop the madness. right? I don't know how many of you watch Shark Tank, but if you see it, it makes sense. If not, you're gonna just pass on my joke and say I was dumb and move on. But this is they thought about the colors, and that's fine putting black on a white wall, or if it maybe ORB, but I'm partially colorblind, so that doesn't help. The way they have that grab bar right there, and just the placement and everything, and how they made a beautiful bathroom look bad, it's just unnecessary and crazy. And so I'm going to bring it right to the point, right up front. You look at this bathroom and you go, holy moly, fashion and function disaster. And then you look at my products down here, the after, and you go, wow, I can move from here to here to here to here to here to here to here, the back of here where one of these is, and then over to here. And I've got pathways where fashion meets function throughout my bathroom, in a safe haven wherever I go. Now, this isn't one specific bathroom with the right dimensions and the right wall things. This works in any bathroom, okay? Works in any bathroom. Now, some bathrooms are smaller than others, and maybe there's a couple of products you don't need twice, or you don't need some. You might not need the towel shelf over your toilet, or have room for it in a tight bathroom, but most do. And so you can see we've got grab bars surrounding mirror over here. The mirror's not included. We've got a 3-in-1 grab bars and towel shelf and towel bar there. We've got this is actually a 2-in-1, not a 3-in-1. It's a grab bar toilet paper holder right there. Then we've got a grab ring for shower valve and tub spout. Then we've got a 20-inch curve bar for decor and usage, which is actually positioned the wrong way. It should be slanted the other way, but I wasn't there for that picture, so they screwed it up. And then in the back of the shower, there's a towel bar, because why would you want to forget your towel, or even have a caregiver forget to place your towel, and then you got an older person trying to step over a tub with wet feet to go get a towel, right? So, and then where are you going to hang your towel when you get out? Well, you got to have some place to do that, and you want a little safe haven when you're out. So that's just an example of where we're going here. Now, I'm going to throw this out up front too, because this is really important. I mean, overlook the importance of this entirely. And when you work with your installer, or you work with an installer for your client, or maybe you install yourself, some installers are old school and they're going to go, I'm going to use the toggler I always use, and I'm not changing. Well, that's unfortunate, because with Grabcessories, you can get the total mounting solution in one box, and no one is doing it the way we are. Moen puts a couple of anchors in a couple of products, but their anchors are inferior now. We went up them years ago, and I'll show you how. But and their anchors are good. I mean, if you got nothing else, and you haven't bought my product yet, and you've used Moen anchors, okay, it served its purpose. It mounted a grab bar. But now that you know about this is a much easier install. You can't screw up your mount because it's very forgiving. And we're going to talk about that. So basically on this slide, I'll just tell you there's 2 of those Mount Daddy anchors you see there, the black part without the man, that come in every box. That allows you to mount any one of our Grabcessories products in any location you like on the wall. There's an elastomeric band you can see that runs on the sides of there. You'll put that thing through the wall, and I'm going to show you a video later that you can see of how that works. It snaps back to the wall, and then a bolt goes through into a stainless steel insert that mounts that flange on the right. Okay, everybody understand? So the Eddie, is in the box for free. It's a $21 value when you compare it to Moen or Wing It or any other anchor out there. We're putting that in the box for free in every single product. Now, if you look to your right, you'll say, what's the Live Safe mounting flanges? Well, you can see from the kidney-shaped hole pattern there that you can fit 3 screws into a stud without having to toenail them in. Remember the old grab bar pattern where there's a hole at the top and then there's 2 diagonal holes on the far right of each side? Well, one of those holes, you have to toenail a nail in or a screw just to get the thing mounted into the wall. Well, that's not good. So what we did was we beefed up the flanges a little bit and put more holes in the flange. And we gave more room in the kidney shape of the hole, which they won't slide, so that we could drill these in solid and you could always get 3 screws in for a safe mount. It doesn't get much better than that. Everything is in the box. You don't have to pay a la carte. So if your client or a contractor or whatever calls us and orders something, it's all right there. No trips to Lowe's. It's going to cost you extra money to pay them to run to Lowe's. None of that stuff. Oh, okay. I'll come back to more later. So let's talk about somebody else's products for a minute. And I want to talk about the positives. I want to talk about the negatives. The top left product is a brand new product from Healthcraft Products. They make the Invisia bars. Okay. That specific line was developed to attack my brand. I got that from someone, and because for years I've been taking their business on senior living and some other things, and they came out with a bar that costs less than mine do. That bar right there, that toilet paper holder, it costs $45 USD on their website. Now they're a Canadian company. It's not a bad looking bar. It serves a toilet paper purpose. But let's talk about design. If a senior grabs it wrong and they hit that toilet paper rod that's right in the middle, it could cause them to miss it. Okay, that's the only thing wrong with that bar. I don't like the design. I wouldn't put it in for my relative, but it can be useful and it's okay. Is it beautiful? Beauty's in the eyes of the beholder, right? And I'm no Richard Gere. So let's just say that it's okay. It's okay. But let's look at the product next to it. Let's look at their shampoo shelf. And by the way, I don't have one yet. It's in development, but it's going to be the best in the business because we don't do anything that isn't. This particular shower shelf serves a purpose. It holds stuff. It's got a shelf, and I like the fact that they put drainage in the shelf. That's what we're doing on ours. So there's drainage. You don't want water puddling up and the bottles falling over. But you can knock bottles over. And does anybody know what the problem with this shampoo shelf is? The number one problem right now as you look at that thing? Anybody want to chime in?
The containers are on the way. The shampoo, the hand can hit the shampoo, the bottles, and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see where somebody's watching the containers while grabbing, and that kind of gets them off of what the purpose is. It kind of looked to me like a little crowded.
Well, it's always, in fairness to this company, it's always going to be a little crowded. There's nothing you can do. If you put a shampoo shelf up there, it's going to have a shampoo. Your hand might hit the bottles. That's the part that I get. The difficult part is when the bottles fall over, guys and gals. If the bottles fall over, they can fall out and hit the senior in the toe.
Yep. Or go around the tub.
Where's the little guard across it so they can't fall out? That is a bad design. That's a very bad design. And they should have known better by looking at the Moen one that does the same thing. And it has been out for years. So I'm going to talk about the pillars of my company in a minute, but we're going to keep going through these pictures. This picture on the right, I really love the design of this from an aesthetic standpoint. It's curvy, it's clean line, it's beautiful. I like that part, okay? What I don't like is you have to drill 3 holes for that one. Now, and I'm okay if a product like my shelf, it requires 4 holes. You have to. It's a shelf. I mean, it's hard to do a shelf without 4 holes from a safety standpoint. But this could have been done with 2 holes if it was a different design. That's okay. I even accept, because they have discrete holes and it's okay. But look at the screw on the left side. So if you have arthritis in your fingers and you got to change the toilet paper out, and you don't have a caregiver, what are you going to do? You need toilet paper. You need to put your toilet paper on. You got to take it off. You got to put it back on. You got to take that bolt off on the left side of that thing. No, bad design. Now, I like the aesthetics of the grab bar. And by the way, Invisia makes products aesthetically gorgeous. They do. But here's what I'm going to go over my company's pillars right now. Grabcessories by LiveWell will not make a product that doesn't meet the following. Number 1, it has to be safe. As safe as possible. Number 2, it has to be optimally functional. We got to think of everything. Try to think of everything. I mean, you're never going to think of every single situation for every possible human being. It's just impossible. But we've got to eliminate the majority, right? That's what we strive for. Optimal functionality and safety. Number 3, it has to be beautiful. If I can't make a product that is aesthetically attractive without compromising the safety and the optimal functionality, I don't belong in this business. Because we're here to save people. We're not here to destroy people. We're not here to put people at risk. And we're not here to cut corners because we're not here to cut corners by leaving a soap, a shampoo shelf like that so somebody can fall on their toe just because it would cost us a few more cents in China to make, right? Which is where these products are, most of them. So then the 4th pillar is price. My company will never charge $250 for a grab bar. Like that one on the right there that you have to twist off the screw to get the toilet paper off, that costs $250. And most of their products are between $150 to $250 because they make those domestically in Canada. No shot against them, and they're beautiful. They guys, gals, they're beautiful. But they don't have grips on the back. They have 3 holes, and some of the design makes it harder on people to use. Okay, this same company is bragging on their website about having 9 holes in their flange. So you can get 3 screws in anywhere because we got 9 holes. It's not very forgiving. If a hole goes in the, if you do something wrong, you have no forgiveness like you do when you have these kidney-shaped flanges, right? So just another thing to point out. This particular product here, whoops. This particular product here, their grab ring, it has 4 mounts. You're going to see mine in a little bit that has 2. Again, Invisia makes a gorgeous product, but it's probably somewhere between 150 to 250 bucks. Unnecessary. That's That's too much for seniors. Come on. I just don't want to bill at seniors. It's not what I do. So here's mowing. Let's talk about mowing for a minute. First of all, this is a 1-inch bar, not a 1 1/4 inch bar like mine. 1 1/4 inch is ADA compliance. Now, you don't need ADA compliance for a home. You don't. But I'll tell you what, when you look at these bars and you open the box and you feel it, you're going to go, is this going to hold, Mom? It doesn't look substantial. And the mounts are a lot smaller, and they went for aesthetics versus security. And I don't like that. It's not my model. Now, don't get me wrong, there's hundreds of thousands of these in homes all over America, and they're probably fine. But you get to a stage, let's say your mom, you get this for your mom and she's 65, but she's a healthy 65, right? And you put this in for her. By the time she's 70, 75, I wouldn't want that for her anymore. Because things change in the status of your clients' bathrooms and who they are, right? They go from stage 1 walking to of movement, mobility to stage 4. And along that continuum, this doesn't hold as much weight. This is an assist bar. It holds, they'll state it holds 300 pounds. Mine holds 500 in hollow wall substrates or studs that support the weight. It's all about the wall. This is a 1-inch bar as well. It's an assist shampoo shelf. They've got a bit of a different problem. They put 3 little bars here so stuff couldn't fall out, which is fine. But this lunch, I call it a lunch tray. Their tray holds water a little bit because it has no drainage. You notice there's no drainage in there? That's not good because the bottles start floating around and there's more movement in the bottles. They fall over. And now you got a senior messing with bottles when they shouldn't have to mess with bottles. It's just a problem. And it's nice that you can take this tray out. I like the fact that you can take it out. But what's holding it in? Because I've played with that. It bounces around. And the more water it holds, the more it floats and bounces around. So it's not a good solution. So let's look at their anchor for a minute. The reason their anchor costs so much money is because the anchor came after the grab bars. And so they had to accommodate a way to put their grab bars in, but they already had their grab bar flanges made and they didn't want to spend the $500 to $1,000 to accommodate all their stuff in the marketplace. So they just made this plate that is costly that you got to screw into. And the consumer has to read directions, which, by the way, if you've ever read directions on this anchor, I'm 57. I got to get out my readers to read it. You got to use this tab to push it through the wall. Now, I was at Moen and I know I sold this thing. I know that this falls down the wall 2 to 5% of the time because you start hitting installation when you're pushing this thing in and the forks separate. And this falls down the wall. These things don't stay in the track if the forks separate. It can pull out. Now, is it a good anchor? Yes, it's a good anchor. Will it hold your grab bars once it's in? Absolutely. Is it the easiest install that an installer can use or a homeowner can use? Absolutely not. And we'll talk about mine in a little bit. This is what Moen considered in 2004 their designer grab bar. It's still their designer grab bar today. They haven't changed a thing. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that, gosh, can you update your designs at some point? So strategically placed in all high-risk fall zones and in key transition areas throughout the bathroom to optimize safe transition and minimize falls. That's what we're all about. And by the way, let me go back a minute. Does anybody have questions on the competitive stuff I just talked about? Inquiries on my stuff? Anything you'd like to say at this point? Okay. Feel free to, guys and gals, please.
Dimitri, you had a question?
I was gonna say, when you were talking about that shampoo, right,
Okay.
no, the next one.
Okay.
Yes, that tray.
Yeah.
What happens when something sits in water? So you have all those typically plastic bottles sitting in water, and they're gonna have like a little mildew ring, especially in the more humid areas. So then that becomes less attractive, looks dirty, needs to be cleaned. So it's kind of odd to me that they wouldn't have at least 3 drainage points on there.
Very odd. And
Mhm.
mine has drainage points, and we also are going to have holes in it where a lot of people brush their teeth in the shower, more than I ever thought. So we're going to have a toothbrush holder hole or so in ours, which is very cool.
That is.
So I went over that, and so I'm going to show this picture again a few times because I want to point out different things with it. We have what we call a pathway system. And when we were in research and development, and for UOTs out there, we consulted OTs in the design of our products. We asked them questions, and we talked to 1,000 individuals who need grab bars, right? We went into assisted living facilities, multi-generational households with grandma and the kids. You know, our products are for all ages. They're not just meant for seniors. And when you guys go in as consultants, I think that's a key point I would write down in your notes is that, hey, I'm not just talking about seniors here. I could be in a multi-generational household talking to grandma and mom and her daughter, but there's a 3-year-old running around or a 5-year-old, and their feet can't touch the floor. So they're going to pull their regular grab bar out of the wall, not grab bar, toilet paper holder out of the wall. I can keep that kid from falling on his face, and I can keep grandma safe and able to rise from and decline to seated position easier if I recommend a grab bar toilet paper holder on the wall. Now I'm gonna rip on my own company a little bit because when this was built out, they built the wall where the toilet paper holder is a little shorter than I told them to, because they didn't understand why. They thought it was an error that I wanted it out 6 more inches. The reason that wall is too short where the toilet paper holder is, you mount my toilet paper holder 41 inches from the back wall and 28 inches off the floor. And the reason is you want to be able to pull forward to elevate from on the arch and then decline to seated position with the arch. So it has to be out in front of you more than a regular, you know how people, I don't even know why people mount toilet paper holders on the side of an individual. Because an older person or even a younger person has to twist their body halfway around to grab the toilet paper. Doesn't make any sense. So if you're going to use a grab bar in front of the toilet, you can pull that with an arch, you can pull forward to elevate from or decline to seated position easier. And there's also grips on the back of that are very tactile. We'll talk about soon. Now, go back to this picture that they did too. And everybody, you know, does their photos, and sometimes the photographers do them wrong. So maybe they didn't think about it, but they really screwed up. They put it, if they meant to do this, that's bad. If they didn't mean to do it, hey, it can happen. I wasn't there for my build out either. So, but if they're telling people they should mount it right there, that's just wrong. It should be mounted further out from in front of the toilet. Okay, so you've seen Mount Daddy there, and you've seen our Live Safe anchors. You've seen the pathway system. We think every, you know, storing and retrieving wet and dry towels are high fall risk zones. Showering and shampooing your hair, that's a high fall risk zone. elevating to and from seated position, high fall. For men, when they're over the toilet, what do men usually do when they toilet standing up? They either put their hand on the wall, or they, if they're unsteady. I'm talking about somebody unsteady, or they look for a countertop, and that causes other toileting problems. So, and balance problems. So somebody going to the bathroom can lean on that without leaning over too far or falling. It works out really, really well, because those things come out 10 inches from the wall. And you can't see it right here on this picture, but I'll show you later. There's a 1.5-inch gap between the safety glass tempered shelf and the grab bar, so that they can't grab the shelf. Okay. Now, could somebody grab a shelf? Yes. If it broke, would it hurt them? No, because it's tempered glass and it comes apart in chunks and it will not cut anybody. Very important. Always thinking safety. So this is just a silhouette picture of showing, and this was done before I had the grab bar surrounding mirror, of how to move from one place to another around the bathroom, just kind of saying how the system works in action, accommodating everybody's mobility and user mobility and accessibility as they travel about. This is just another, ugly bathroom picture versus a newer one. And so this slide talks about everything. It talks about our sturdy non-slip grips. See those little rubber nubbies on the back on the back of our bar, on that grip? We have two types of grips. On our smaller bars, we have what we call multiple rubber nubby grips. We call them easy clean rubber nubby grips because you don't need anything abrasive. And if you just wipe it off with your normal stuff, or you can use a Clorox wipe or whatever, not Clorox bleach. Don't use Clorox bleach. Clorox wipes are smaller amounts of cleaner, so they're not abrasive. But you can wipe those things off and it'll come off right away, even hard water deposits. It's been pretty cool. We developed something really cool there. And nobody else does that like we do. Moen has a couple of grips on their bars, but they're flat and they're problematic. We took time and we spent a few extra cents on our grips to give it the grippiness, but yet the hardness and the stability that it could stay clean. So we did that. And you see our special hole pattern there again. These are all reasons to buy our products. Beautiful decorative designs and stainless steel 304 non-corrosive. And the mounts and the anchors come in the box. So we talked about anchors and we talked about, the benefit of those, but here's a hidden benefit that you guys probably, I would venture to, I'm not going to say you don't, but I'm going to venture to say this could be an add to your sales pitch when you're talking about our products and our anchors. Blocking costs a lot in labor. And when you walk in, you want to justify what you're bringing as a consultant or an OT or whatever to folks. And you don't want somebody to spend $1,000 to rip out a wall because contractors are charging more than ever right now, right? It's not necessary. As long as they've got drywall, half-inch drywall or 5/8-inch drywall, and maybe tile over it, maybe not. But I put our products in drywall every day. Drywall is only going to get 250 to 300 pounds, which is ADA compliant, and that's just what it is for every vendor. We're no different than that, right? But if you go into a shower surround, as long as it's not a wimpy $99 Home Depot flimsy, you could almost break it with your hands, shower surround, you're going to hold between 400 and 700 pounds at a minimum. And if it's a Best Bath or one of our bigger showers, you're going to hold, 1,000 pounds, because those things are beasts when you get to the bigger ones. But most in homes that are bought singularly that are good are anywhere from 0 to 500 pounds, and usually on the 250 to 500 pounds you'll hold in a tub surround for a residential home. In senior living homes, it's much greater. It's more like 1,000 pounds. If you've got cement board with ceramic tile, we did a study where, excuse me, I'm sorry. We did a study on one of our bars where actually on all of our bars, where I did the digital chain fall. At 1,500 pounds, the wall started to crack, and at 1,550, the whole wall pulled out, and the anchors in the bar were still intact. That's crazy. So I believe in our product. You can believe in our product. It's tested, it's tried, it's true. We've never, ever been sued and never will be, because our products are quality. And we test the heck out of our stuff. There's never been an issue, and there never will be. Marble, you can hold 12 to 1,600 pounds. It's just, the stuff is crazy. Our products will hold as much as the wall will hold in terms of the anchor being able to support it in hollow walls, as long as the wall substrate holds it. And there I kind of give you a guide. This is a guide. Every situation in the way things are installed are different. You get somebody that installed stuff a long time ago. I just did my products in an old house. It took me twice as long as some of the newer houses, right? Because you go into a bathroom shower from a 1949 or 59 home. Guess what? Behind the plaster, there's that mesh fencing. Have you ever seen that in a home? Oh, it's crazy. Drilling through that, I had to use a carbide bit to get through that mesh fencing. Fortunately, it's old and decrepit, so I was able to get through it, but it's tough. But I just wanted to let you know, you can put our anchors through just about anything, and they will work, except those. I wouldn't put anybody's anchors, including ours, in a $99 cheap Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever retailer surround. Anchor installation steps. I talked to you about how you install their anchor and that they need a plate. Well, we do ours differently. Step number one, drill a hole with a 1 1/4 inch bit, same as they do. But step number two, we don't need no stinking plate, as they said in the movie. Insert round plug anchor into hole. Pretty easy, right? Step three, take a flathead screwdriver. See that plastic thing? Might not be easy to see here, but that's what's on that wall, keeping that anchor there. You're pushing in, and that elastomeric band behind the wall is snapping it back to the wall so that you can put your bolt in. You mount with bolt here, put your bolt in. It goes into the stainless steel inset in the anchor, and it's mounted. That thing is mounted. And then you put your grab bar post over this post, and you put set screws into the groove, and it's rock solid every time. The only thing that ever happens is if you feel a wobble or your installer feels a wobble, they did not align the set screw, one of the set screws, into the groove there. That's for the set screws. All they have to do is back it out a little bit, adjust it, screw it back in, and it'll be rock solid. So we are the only thoughtfully designed fall prevention system of our kind to keep safety optimized in the bathroom. I think all of our products are very well thought out. We accept criticism, and I'm open to it. One of the criticisms I get is, where's your shampoo shelf? And where's your corner shelf? So we're fixing that, and they would have came out in 2020 if it wasn't for COVID. So real disappointed about that, but we're back on track. Your clients will get our high design and user functionality combined at an affordable price. You know, our grab bar toilet paper holder retail is probably, I think it's $64.99 now. if I remember correctly, the retail. You buy that Invisio one that doesn't have the grips or the anchors, $250. The Healthcraft one's going to be $45, but you don't get grips, you don't get anchors in the box. It's not as beautiful well, it's not just my opinion. Everybody's told me that. Your clients get the dollars investment in the system back in the first year and reduced injury, falling, and the liability that goes along with it for themselves, right? Grabcessories pay for themselves. I won't talk about communities much. Does anybody here sell senior living at all? No? Okay. There's something going on in the chat. Universal design, it's for everyone. Okay. Cool. I agree. Universal design is for everyone. Our Mount Daddy mounting system makes it easy for installation of flanges and allow you to locate your fixture anywhere you want on the wall. Oh, here's one other thing about our anchors that is extremely important. And so I'm gonna, what's going on? We're not moving here. Huh. My screen is not moving.
Not advancing?
There it is. Okay. So once that anchor is in the wall, see where the flange is? Look at that flange and where he's screwing that bolt in. Let's say you marked your spot on the wall a half an inch off. Heck, let's make it 3/4 of an inch off. Because behind the wall, until the bolt is mounted solid to the wall, you still got that elastomeric rubber band behind the wall. It's not a rubber band, it's an elastomeric band. You still got that band behind the wall. You can move the post of that flange around 3/4 to an inch off of where you marked and still mount safely against that wall. There's not an anchor on the planet that is that forgiving on a grab bar install. You can't find one. Can't do it. Can't do it with the Moen anchor. Can't do it with a winged anchor. Can't do it anywhere. We got the only one that does that. Very proud of that. Product value. Your customers do not have to buy bath accessories since you have bath accessories combined with grab bars, which saves them money. A lot of people go into these consults and they forget that really simple thing, right? Hey, yeah, you know what? It costs more money for this product, but guess what? You don't have to buy a grab bar and the bath accessory. The bath accessories without grab bars are expensive. You can buy an exposed screw grab bar for $12, but you buy the toilet paper holder, it's going to be 36 or whatever, right? So unless you buy the bottom of the barrel $9 one that's going to get broken.
Scott, I have a question.
Sure.
This just goes back to the point that you made about your mechanism being forgiving, and if you were off by a half an inch or whatever, exactly how do you adjust it? Because you've got your hole already drilled. Are you saying you're able to make that hole bigger and move it over, or like, can you just explain what you mean?
This is the beauty. You don't have to do anything to the hole. And I'm going to stand up to show you this a little bit. So you just take that flange, look at the flange. Imagine me putting my hands around it right now. And all you do is move it to where you want. So what you would do is you would put your level on top of the grab bar, okay? And find out where level is.
Yeah.
Make your mark and back to it. You take your drill, you zip it into where you think it is, and don't zip it hard, just zip it into where it is, and then put your level on it again. And if you're there, you're there. You can move that anywhere around on your existing hole. You don't have to drill another hole. It's beautiful. I do it. I've done it many times. here's the other thing. By the way, did I explain that well? Does that make sense? All you do is grab that post and you move it anywhere around that hole with the bolt in it, but not all the way tight. Because the
Gotcha.
elastomeric band becomes useless once the bolts into the wall, right? Everybody understand that? You don't have a rubber band holding your grab bar on the wall. The rubber band is just used to bring the anchor snap back to the wall. Once the bolt's in, the bolt and the flange take over. So,
Right. So you're saying in that the, neck, if you will, that comes out where you're putting your screw, that you have some give within there that you can kind of move that around a little bit.
yeah, so the give is within the neck, which is, we'll call that the post, right? That's a post.
Okay.
So the give isn't there. It's the bolt goes through that post and into, let me see. Let me show you. The bolt goes through that post and into number 2, where the hole
Right.
is.
Yep.
Okay. And once you start screwing it through there, you've got control of the anchor behind the wall.
Okay.
Right? So now you're controlling the anchor from the front of the wall with the post and the bolt that's behind the wall in the anchor, and you can move it anywhere you want.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank
Got
you.
me? Yeah. Does that make sense now? Anybody confused on that? It don't fall down the wall. And you're gonna love the install, I promise you. Steve, how we doing on time?
You're fine, about 10 more minutes, 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, so we have 20, 24 inch, 36 inch, and 42 inch grab bars. Our 20 and 24 inch come in arched or curved or straight, which are beautiful, beautiful accents. The straight have capped ends because we want to make sure that our smaller bars that get put vertically are safe when they're in the vertical position and nobody dots their I with it, right? Now, we make angled ends on our long bars, 32 to 36, 42, and 48. I want to really, really drive home. These bars with the angles on them are completely safe. They're no different than a C-chrome bar or any other bar that has a regular sawed-off edge. And we polish our edges off so nobody gets stabbed. And somebody goes, well, you could catch something on that end of that grab bar. And I'm like, I don't know about you, but I only enter the shower naked. I never get in there with clothes on. So, and a caregiver never gets to the back wall of a shower. So, we've never had a problem. We've put these in senior living communities and in residential communities all over America and Canada. People love them. The longer bars have this grip. I showed you the smaller grip, multiple rubber nubby grips. This is the long rubber nubby grip that goes on 36, 42, and 48 inch bars. The 32 inch bar still has the multiples, but these longer bars have the long one. Long, easy, clean rubber nubby grip. Here's an example. These are not attractive, but we do carry the concealed screw bars too with a better flange hole pattern, which makes a whole lot of sense. This is just talking about reiterating some things we talked about earlier. Just remember that the grab bar towel bar does not require ADA compliance. This is our tub and shower grab ring. We know from research that people, when they think about driving a car, especially memory care patients, people who are struggling with memory care, they love remembering driving a car. This is our shelf. We talked about that. There's no ADA compliance required for a shelf, but we did some ADA compliant things in thoughtful design. Remember what I talked about earlier? Optimal safety is number one. We put that one, you can see on the picture here, we put that curve in the shelf with the 1.5-inch space for hands to grab. A lot of people they shave, they do their eyebrows, they wash their face, and the list goes on for seniors. This is probably the wrong pedestal. There should be a wheelchair pedestal there, but the point is, everybody leans over the sink when they do anything, right? The grab bar's right in front of you when you lean over the sink to steady you, and it doesn't look bad. So we're thinking about creating one with a light on the top, so it looks like a light fixture. That'll be pretty cool. What do you think about that? Anybody got any thoughts on that?
Maybe if the light is indirect, that would be kind of cool to have it, the light going up.
Yes,
reflect.
it would go up. It would go up for sure.
I
I
was
think that's
gonna
a
make,
great idea.
You like it?
oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna make a comment in looking things over. I properly, having been a builder, I did most of this stuff when I built my home 20 years ago, and my commode's in a compartment, always in a compartment, and I have bars right and left, and with nothing in the way. But the thing that I don't, and in the shower, I have it at an angle. But the thing that I noticed your bars have is that ribbed interior,
The grip.
the grip. What I don't like is your hands can have, in the shower, can have soap on them, or they're just wet. And that bar, if you don't hang on to it good, it doesn't do the job. And it's about 2.5 feet long.
We don't have a grip.
Right on. I promise every one of you, and if you're unhappy, send it back to me. I promise every one of you, you will never find another grab bar that has grips that are as tactile and easy to grab onto as the grips we put on our products. I promise you that. So here's just here's a few. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can I comment on those last grab bars? Yeah, so from an OT perspective on the grab bars next to the mirror, that's a new placement, but I like the placement at the sink, accessible for a sit to stand transfer if somebody is in a wheelchair. And energy conservation wise, I think anything above shoulder level is really fatiguing. So reaching all the way up that high, I do think it's a little high for positioning wise.
Yeah, for wheelchair, certainly. This picture was not meant for wheelchair. You're 100% right, and that's why I said the pedestal was probably wrong for this picture. Totally agree with you. I would, but if it was wheelchair, you would put the mirror down lower, and the sink would probably be in a different place, and it would be roll in, right? I mean, all those things would be present. So, yeah, look, one picture doesn't always fit everything. So your comments are well taken, and I certainly understand where you're going.
And also there's not lighting in that image. It doesn't really show any lighting. So I'm wondering where the lighting is. Is it an overhead recessed downlight or?
Yeah, so this photo was just taken in someone's home to show the grab bars. It wasn't an all-inclusive universal design picture. Some of these pictures are just taken for one purpose or another rather than all purposes. So I apologize for that, but that's the nature of this picture specifically.
Sure. Thank you.
You can see there's an array of our grab bars right there. Talks about the 24 and the 32 and the 40. I'm going to run through some things here pretty quick. There's a hole in the bottom of our grab bar. You know why that's there? Because when they hang them, they want the water to drip out at the factory. But it's also what people don't know, and you'll never see this on other grab bars, and I was happy to do this. Grab bars always get water inside of them. It's a dirty little secret that nobody will ever admit. But the fact of the matter is they do. And you want that water to dissipate. It's not good to harbor that water in there. So leaving an air hole helps it dissipate. So I was fine with leaving them in and not plugging them. And they're under the grab bar, nobody sees them. So it's great. We thought of everything. You can see look at the laser welding on this bottom left corner on our grab bar. We laser weld. if you go to and this is again, it's not a shot against Moen, it's just a fact. Undo one of their grab bars and look for scuffs. You'll find scuffs on their grab bars around the welds. Okay. So I'm going to run through this really quick. This is our grab bar toilet paper holder. It's got grips on the back. Here's an example of it in Marquette Senior Living. Now they went a little overboard in my opinion. Here's an example where this senior living facility it was fine to put a toilet paper holder, you know, if they felt they needed to, above the toilet, the toilet paper holder. But that bar that's really high up, I'm not sure that was necessary. Now, maybe they did that for one person's room that had a specific issue. Okay. For my money, if it's a person that's relatively agile and can move about, all they needed was the toilet paper holder. And maybe moved out a little bit further to the forward. But that's it. But this is a facility that did all my bars. A little bit disappointed they didn't do the circle around the shower valve. Some people do it, some people don't. I highly recommend it, especially in residential where you're not, where you don't have to comply with commercial issues. By the way, ADA compliance are guidelines for commercial buildings. It doesn't mean it's the optimal way to design for a consumer's home. You design for the consumer in the home, not around ADA guidelines, unless you're just talking about support and basics. Here's one of my newest products. It's a 3-in-1 product, and it's perfect for toileting assistance or hand towel storage. Do you guys see the pictures here? I'm gonna get rid of those. It's perfect for either hand towel storage. You can put this next to the vanity and store your hand towels there and have some balance while you're at the vanity. Or you can use it as a toilet paper holder. By the way, that's my master bathroom right there. We took that picture of my master bath. And you can see I put that out a little bit further. Now for me, I liked right where I put it. I probably put it at 40 or 39 because I'm still athletic. And I can move it a little bit if I have to at some point, but I love it. And obviously it comes in chrome and brushed nickel. It will come in matte black, but we don't have it in matte black just yet. So it's coming. This is the 15-inch anywhere bar with grips and Mount Daddy anchors. You don't get the valve trim there, but that shows it over the valve trim because a lot of people will put it over there, but it works anywhere. This is the grab ring we talked about. Notice there's only 2 holes and there's grips all the way around the back of it. Again, the grab bar, towel towel shelf, curved bar. By the way, it's 20 inches long. It's 16 inches to post. And that does come in matte black. This is where fashion meets function, showing our products. Just another shot of it. This is our arched, contemporary looking grab bar. I don't mount this vertical. This is always a horizontal mount. And this is just a picture showing the kids. And I highly recommend that if you sell our products, you show the pictures of our products with kids. And sell it as a bath accessory. And by the way, you can grab onto it because I have a friend who worked for Invacare and her father, I don't want those darn grab bars, right? You guys run into that all the time. And I said, Jackie, you're buying my ORB products, so go tell your dad they're bath accessories. And guess what? These bath accessories, they also let you grab onto them safely. Look how this works. Next thing you know, she's buying my products and she calls me back later and says, loves it. So it's all in how you position it. It's all in how you position it to the loved one. because we all know that when we're little kids, we have to get redirected and we have to be convinced. What do we become when we get old? We revert to our child self. And sometimes that happens. And sometimes you have to deal with it the same way and redirect. This is our 20-inch straight grab bar with multiple rubber nubby grips. There's our 24, 32, and you'll see how the 32 goes to the slanted ends. And by the way, we only use 32s in residential consumers when there's like a 48-inch wall or a 40-inch shower or something small. The end almost to the end of the wall, so nobody can possibly get hurt on it. And by the way, if it's in a tub, the ends of those bars are not even within the tub span. So it's all beautiful, it's all fine, and it all works well. .42-inch. And that is the end of the presentation part. Steve, do we have any time left?
We're actually to the end of what we announced, but if people have, and we've been entertaining some questions as we go along here. If there's a couple of quick questions, or if you want to submit them in the task in the chat box, I can forward those to Scott and get you some answers. But we can take a quick question or two, and then we'll wrap it up.
You know what? There's some stuff in the chat box I didn't see, so let me see if I need to answer anything.
Oh, the one that asked about a video of the installation. Do you have a link to that? Anything that you send me, I will pass out to the attendees.
Yes.
So there's a question about using some of your slides in a presentation that they would do with a client.
100%. 100%.
Where do they get those?
I'm going to put in the chat right now. Our catalog. Hang on. If I can get it, hang on. Hang on, guys. Be right with you. Why don't you ask questions while we're doing this?
And there was a question that sample. Is there a way that someone can get a product from you, prepaid or against an order, or however you would work that? Is there any way they can get a sample of a product to show, to have with them?
Yeah, 100%. Here's what the problem with samples. If we gave a free sample out to everybody, I would have about 1,000 OTs asking for a free sample, and I'd be out of product and out of business. But we do give OTs and all your customers that are out there as consultants a discount. I am happy to. If somebody emails me directly, scott@livewellhs.com. I will make sure you get that discount. You know what? You can go up and here's another way to get your discount. You can sign up as an installer on our website and you get a discount. I'll just give you the installer. Go to our website, sign up as an installer, and you will get the discount. You got to put you'll have to choose installer from the drop-down field. You'll have to set up a password, and then you'll have to exit the website, clear your cache, and then go back in. If you don't clear your cache and go back in, it won't give you the discount because it doesn't know, it hasn't registered you. But go in and register as a reseller. Choose the installer field, and I'll show you where to do that, by the way. Here's our website, livewellhs.com. Okay. You'll go, can you see my website right now?
No, your screen didn't advance.
Oh, hang on. Stop sharing.
You're not sharing anymore. I mean, you're sharing, but it's not. No.
Okay. I'm going to share it right now.
Just type it into the chat there, Scott. Oh, okay.
Okay, this is my website, livewellh.com. See it right there? You got it?
Yes.
Okay, so if you go to become a reseller, this is what you'll see. Create account, put it in there, and when it goes to type of account, you pull from the drop down and you go to installer, boom. And the rest is, you know, your company name and everything. Please do put your telephone number and your email and everything. Because if we ever need to reach you about an order, we can do so. And somebody asked about videos. There's the LiveWell story I was telling. There's some product videos. And there's our installation video right there in the middle of the page.
Great. Thank you.
You got it. Happy to help.
Okay, if there's other questions, put them in the chat or email them directly to Scott or to me. I'll make sure he gets them. We'll pass them along. Appreciate everyone's attendance and great questions, great engagement. And with that, I think we'll wrap this session up and watch for announcements for next month and the month after and so forth. So Scott,
Hey,
really
Steve.
good. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can I drop this catalog in the chat so everybody can get
Sure,
this
sure you
quick?
can. And Dimitri had something else?
Are you going to be able to email out the PowerPoint?
Yes. Actually, Steve has it. I emailed it to him in a Dropbox.
Okay, I'll send that out, sure, with the, and plus you're gonna get a recording of this.
Okay,
It'll be available in a little while, mid-afternoon. I'll send that out to you as well.
great.
All right.
Um,
Yeah,
Very good.
anything else?
did that link show up? Because I pasted it, but it's not showing up, Steve.
Let me go down here. Let me see.
Really great material. Thank you very much.
Well, I hope I've answered everybody's questions and my email is scott@livewellhs.com. If anybody needs questions, Steve, I'm going to send you the link just so you can send it out to
Yeah,
everybody.
do that. Yes, email it to me because yeah, it's not, maybe we've exhausted our bandwidth for recording this program. I'm not sure, but
Scott, where are you located in Ohio?
Strongsville, Ohio.
I'm sorry.
Cleveland area, Strongsville.
Oh, okay.
okay. I thank you
So
all
much,
for your
everyone.
attendance today and
Thank you.
all right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.